So who are your PSCs? There are a few possibilities. The first type of PSC is anyone who holds more than 25% of your company's shares. Let's look at some examples. X and Y each own 50% of the shares for BIPS Limited. This means X and Y are both PSCs and their details should be recorded on the PSC register. How about BOPS Limited? X, Y and Z all hold different amounts of shares in BOPS Limited. X holds 50%, Y holds 30%, Z holds 20%. X and Y are PSCs and both should be on the PSC register. Z is not a PSC and his details shouldn't be on the PSC register for BOPS Limited, unless one of the other conditions applies to him. Our next example is DIPS Limited. A, B, C and D all hold 25% of shares in DIPS Limited. As none of them hold more than 25% of the shares, they don't need to go on the PSC register for DIPS Limited, unless they meet one of the other conditions. The second type of PSC relates to those who have voting rights. If you have anyone who controls more than 25% of your company's voting rights, then they are a PSC. It's possible for some individuals to meet these first two conditions if they act together. For example, Z has 20% of the shares and voting rights for their company. Y has 10% of the shares and voting rights for their company. But X and Y have an agreement to act together. Together, X and Y have 30% of the voting rights and shares, so they both need to go on the PSC register. The third type of PSC are those that have the right to appoint or remove a majority of directors. PIPS Limited has identified all the PSCs that meet the earlier conditions, having the required amounts of shares or voting rights. They now check their company's constitution, which says that M, who sits on the board of the company, has the right to appoint the majority of directors. So even though M doesn't hold any shares or voting rights, as she can appoint the majority of directors, she is a PSC and her details must go on the register. It is possible for someone to be a PSC but not any of the first three types. Someone might still have significant influence or control of your company. POPS Limited has identified PSCs that meet earlier conditions. Having the required amount of shares, N, who doesn't hold any shares, has an absolute right of veto over the company's business plan. He is a PSC and his details must go on the register. There are lots of ways that someone could exercise influence over a company, and there is specific guidance to help you understand these. More information on PSCs is available at companieshouse.gov.uk/PSC.